For the Iranian philosopher Darius Shayegan, identification as atheist happens in a network of signs and a schizophrenia in the culture that conditions me in spite of myself. The Cartesian I am, in this sense, would be an obscene saying. I'm an atheist, as he expressed in his 1989 book, is what Jacques Derrida interpreted in 1991 book, Circumstances, as I am identical with myself as an atheist. After thinking about the signs of being an unbeliever in the monotheist God or deities, Derrida concluded to have rightly passed for an atheist. The idea of passing through belief-disbelief stages is that belief in God is a culture of atheistic doubt. Humans wouldn't believe in God if they do not go through a number of atheistic stages, such as criticism of idolatries and prayers, and negative ontotheology. Belief would be naive and totally inauthentic without negative ontotheology, apophatic philosophical criticism, and deconstruction. Paradoxical as it may sound, believing in what is beyond being is a mode of atheism. Human freedom is the strength to leave behind the horrors of the past. In the philosophy of Emma Goldman, what is vile and violent is the very morality that theism describes and prescribes with self-righteousness, partly with hypocrisy. Moralistic theism sees no ethics, justice, honesty, or faithfulness without a higher divine power. It provides that wherever atheistic ethics extends, there is no room for prophecy. For the atheist of all times, Plato, ousia in ancient Greek was the essence, the being present as essence. True believers know this better than others. They experience atheism all the time, and it is part of their belief. True believers know that they have to be essentially absolute atheists to interpret God as an existing being, the absolute king. Great mystics like Mevlana experience God as non-existent, dead, disappeared, praying to someone who does not exist in the strict metaphysical sense of existence. To be authentic, belief in God must be exposed to absolute doubt. Sigmund Freud's atheist questions in virtually all of his oeuvre concerned unbelievers more than believers, though incomplete, exhaustive, and descriptive. A critic of belief, religions, and God, Freud wrote from a psychoanalytic approach old enough to be wary that it was prone to mistrust and bad will, that those who hated it would say, "We now see what psychoanalysis leads to. The mask is off, to the negation of the moral ideal, God, since we have always suspected." Freud's allegory was that calculus would be targeted since it is used in physics to illustrate the destruction of the earth, and that the same would be true of psychoanalysis. The same logic applies to when Freud warned of the future of beliefs as illusions. The greater the access to the sciences, the more widespread the break with religious belief.